Notre Dame, Miami. Carson Beck, CJ Carr. It's funny because I didn't anticipate Carson Beck, before last year. I would have never guessed that Carson Beck would be playing for Miami. I would have told you, oh yeah, he's off to the NFL, whatever. And then CJ Carr probably could have guessed, but he hasn't proven a lick yet, right? Highly rated recruit, right? Riley Leonard, the thing about him is yeah, even times when he couldn't throw the ball, he had 20 rushing touchdowns. He found ways to win games outside of his arm when he needed to. Can CJ Carr do that? I know that they have some weapons that they really like on this team from a wide receiver and tight end perspective. Will they be able to take advantage of those? Because they haven't really been able to take advantage of those the past couple of years. So, but if CJ Carr is really good, Notre Dame, once again, is a college football playoff contender. I'll say potential national championship contender. Too many questions right now to say that, but if CJ Carr is good, I think you can start to have that conversation. And what better way than to go on the road against Miami, against a defense that, has struggled the last couple seasons. And we'll see what the Hurricanes got to bring to Notre Dame here. But the spread's I'm seeing it at 2.5. Could I be right with that, CD?
Yeah, it's interesting. When I was thinking about this matchup, in the early off seasons, I was like, oh, okay, yeah, here's Miami going to be a little bit more flashy, what they were last year in terms of lighting up the scoreboard, throwing the ball all around the yard, and then here's Notre Dame being a little bit more grinded out, and obviously winning in the ways that they wanted to win with defense and special teams, and just willing your team to win like Riley Leonard did. To be honest, the closer and closer I get, I feel like the identities of these teams will almost be flipped in terms of what they were last year. You talked about Notre Dame and the great, or what we think is a pretty solid and fun wide receiver core weapons room that they have. Jeremiah Love, obviously, out of the backfield. Jadaeon Price, those two are fantastic together. And a talented former 5-star CJ Carr kind of guy to kind of be a little bit more flashy and be a little bit more explosive offensively through the air, down the field. And then here's Miami, and I almost trust Miami. I think I'm a little scarred from Carson Beck last year. I think the whole idea of him being instantly still an elite quarterback in college football is something that's concerning, especially after his injury too. I mean, he did get hurt in that SEC championship game, and Georgia decided to move on from him. Not that means he's a bad quarterback or anything like that, but if Georgia wanted to keep him, I think they would have made an effort to, or at least tried. And so it's really, really interesting. And I almost expect or believe in Miami's running game with Mark Fletcher and et cetera guys, Jamar Brown, Jordan Lyle, and then that big physical offensive line too to kind of get after teams. So that's what's so super bizarre about it. And here I am. I'm gonna go Miami plus 2.5. And it's because of that reason. Because I worry about CJ Carr on the road. I worry about Notre Dame all of a sudden kind of flipping the script here and being down the field passing, potentially taking advantage of a Miami defense that's brand new. I mean, you got a new defense coordinator. You have how many transfers in that secondary? You got a lot of players that you're kind of throwing in there, but still a lot of talent, especially in that front seven. I'm seeing Justin Scott, right? Ruben Bain, Armando Blunt, Akeem Mesidor, guys that are pretty highly recruited. And then obviously a couple good linebackers in that group as well. And then OJ Frederic is, probably the best player on their defense, if not, one of them as a young kid. So I'm high. And Corey Heatherman, I thought, was fantastic for Minnesota last year. What he does getting after the quarterback on third down, trying to get off the field was really, really impressive. And I think, having the athletes that this Miami defense has will only make him potentially better and be able to execute some more schemes than he could have done at a school like Minnesota or Rutgers that he was at before. So call me crazy. I'm going to go Miami plus 2.5. How do you feel?
Well, I mean, if you like them to win this game, I mean, the over and win total is 9.5. You can get the over at plus 135. I don't dislike your logic at all with that, and I actually think Carson Beck is a little bit better than people gave him credit for last year. I mean, there were some boneheaded decisions for sure, but how many drops were those wide receivers going to have? How many? I mean, it was definitely a surplus.
Yeah.
As crazy as this is to say, because last year I would not have said the same. Like preseason, I think there's a little bit more firepower on this Notre Dame team. Uh, I think this Notre Dame offense is a lot better than Miami's offense, and I could be proven wrong. But I think at the wide receiver room, particularly, you're seeing a little bit of a drop off there for the Hurricanes. At quarterback, obviously, Cam Ward was the best quarterback in college football last year. He was an absolute wagon. He was so good. And then uh, I this Notre Dame offensive line is one of the better ones in the country. They got a wide receiver group that I think is better than Miami's. I think at running back, I mean, they're obviously better. It really just comes down to CJ Carr, right? And how good does he really need to be to win this game on the road when you're returning a lot of guys on this defense that you like a lot, particularly in that secondary, which is really good. And then that defensive line, I think, is going to be a lot better than people are going to give him credit for it, despite losing Howard Cross and Riley Mills. So I'll roll with Notre Dame here and feel just okay about it and not great about it. But this is going to be an awesome game. I will be locked in for this one.